Hello everyone, I'm the Rum.
And I'm the Wine.
So it's definitely been a while since this video was supposed to come. Yeah, well this is part 3 of how to find a flat in Dublin, months and months later. So we won't waste any more of your time and we'll just get straight into it. So you may remember from the first 2 videos that we put a lot of emphasis on finding the correct area to live. Now, this is why. Unfortunately, it only seems to work with rent.ie, but Julia figured this out and then asked me about it, and I was like, as a web developer, yeah, this is things that you can do. At the top of the website, how it usually shows you the search results, because if you just search on rent.ie or any of these other sites, you get hundreds and hundreds of stuff that you then need to sort and filter through. But you can use this query string, include the places that you're most interested in, and bam, copy, paste results for exactly the places in the areas you want. Show up.
So let me translate that from developer for a second here. Basically, what you do is, you know, at the top of the website where you choose, I want, I don't know, places with 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom in XYZ areas. It's a lot of work to type that in every time if you've already decided which areas you want. You just copy the URL once you've done that once and you're fine with that's the amount of bedrooms, anything else. You just take that URL, you bookmark it, every time you want to check your listings, that's where you go. Continue.
Yeah, that's why she's marked in, that's why I'm a developer. Speak my own language, thank you very much. So yes, thanks for that. And another tip is that humans are the ones populating this. Therefore, at certain times everybody's going to be able to update their property listings. It's going to be in the morning or the evening. So, check before you go to work and after you come to work. And that's usually when most property listings will be updated.
So the reason why it's always good to be one of the first people to respond to the listing is because people just get a huge amount of responses. And to be honest, our theories, they probably read like the first, 20, maximum 50, and after that they probably just ignore everyone else writing in response to the listing. So it's good to get there first, but it's also very good to not waste time on which listings you write to. So at work, in probably any Dublin workplace, renting and looking for flats is always a huge topic of conversation, maybe even more popular than the weather. And a lot of the times, because there's always at least 1 or 2 people at the office, even in a tiny company, looking for a new place. And you know, they'll come back and everyone is like, how did it go? Did you get your place? What was it like? And they'd be like, it didn't fit, but I figured out before I went. And I'm like, why did you go there in the first place if you knew it wouldn't fit or you had doubts about it? There are so many listings you can afford to choose. If you're not like already being kicked out onto the street by your previous landlord and you can't afford to have an in-between thing like an Airbnb, you can choose. You don't have to go to any listing available. So be picky about it. Like, there are no images. That already looks very weird. You don't see windows in any of the property's pictures. Probably a basement. So like, don't waste your time on going to places where you're like, it's probably not going to feel right. So you have time that when your dream place pops up, you're like, I have the evening off. Nothing else planned. Let's go there.
Another thing you can make sure of is to finalize the area. So we realized that we were looking at a lot of properties and they all seem to congregate around Dublin 8. And we decided, let's take a weekend, pop over to Dublin 8, see what it's like, what's the actual vibe. Because we actually started to just center our searches just on the Dublin 8 area after this trip. Now, you're walking along and you're seeing and you're connecting with the vibes and the buildings and so like that. So, that was an easy choice. So you can really narrow down your search, especially if you have the time to move to another flat. You know your lease is going to be up soon. Take the time if you're especially new to Dublin. Try to connect, vibe with a place, and just concentrate your searches there, and you'll be able to save time.
And worst case, if you realize you don't like the place, you still got to see a new part of Dublin, and you certainly know what you don't want, which can also help a lot in making a choice. So now let's say you found your dream place listing, you're finally ready to get your email in there and hope for a viewing. Well, here's what we did absolutely wrong the first time on our second round of looking for flats. We found this place and we're like, it's perfect, ideal distance to work, it even got a tiny office to do our editing and video stuff in. It was just like absolute dream flat. So we kind of, with much more details, wrote that in a very long email. About
It was like
how
this.
passionate we are and how perfect this place is, and look at our salary pay slips and everything we attached, and it must have been a massive email by the end, but we were so excited we didn't even realize, and then just crickets.
Silence.
So I told that experience to one of my colleagues and she was just like, biggest mistake you could have made. People get like, what, 200, 300 emails for a place? You think they're gonna read your novel? Obviously not. Landlords don't care why you want to move into the place and if it's perfect to pursue your hobby or passion or whatever. They just want to know basic things like, do you have a stable income? Do you have pets? Do you have kids? Are you a smoker? So what we did the next time is we followed her suggestion of just writing a super short email that had all of those things in there. And guess what? Here we are now, in our dream flat. After only one viewing and the second listing, or third listing we responded to, pretty much.
Yeah. It was pretty lucky. And we kind of think, hey, it's because of all this listening, all this planning that we did, which is why we're sharing it with everyone. Because if it could just be this easy almost every time, then why not?
So that you can take a shortcut and not go through the entire novel writing process and mistakes that we did, we put a little template you can use down in the description. Just personalize it, fill it out, add or change what you want, and no, not fingers crossed. As I wanted to say fingers crossed and press my thumbs, because that's what we do in German-speaking countries. We hold our thumbs for you to get your response to the listing and for you to get the flat.
And I'll cross the fingers for the rest of us who think that holding thumbs is kind of weird.
We're hoping for you in two different ways that you'll get your place. And we'll continue making this series to give you more advice about stuff that helped us.
I promise it's not going to take like another half a year. Definitely not. You can hold me to that. I hope.
Don't make promises we're not sure we can keep. But yeah, we actually have all the blog posts written out. It's very embarrassing to admit that. We could have been filming this if we only had time.
Yes, but it's a priority now. So look out for that next video. And if this helps you, like and tell us, how the experience of looking for your own flat here in Dublin has been. It's been a while. We retook the lease on this place, so we're now out of the game for, a little over a year. What's changed? Is something new? Are any of the methods we're talking about not really relevant anymore? Please do tell.
Or, just like the video if you don't want to write an entire novel. Subscribe and see you next time.
Ja, bis später.
Bye.